What's going on, guys? It's Zuri Vankovic here for another video, and today you're going to be hanging out with me and we're going to be swinging and we're going to be talking about why you're not where you want to be, why you're not as successful, why you're not as happy in your day-to-day, and we're going to solve this issue right here, right now, if you give me a couple minutes and stay with me. So the concept I want to talk about is the upper limit problem. I should preface, this isn't my theory. This is by a guy named Gay Hendricks, and he wrote a book called The Big Leap. And that's where I'm really basing this off of. This book is mind-blowing. I'm recently reading it again, and I want to share this idea that you can step into with me, and you can try it on and see how it fits in your life. The theory is, and the thesis that he makes is, we only really have to solve one problem in our individual lives. And what that is your upper limit problem. Now, you might know the upper limit problem as something like self-sabotage, where you experience some new height in, your human experience, your quality of life goes up, you get a job promotion, you find an amazing partner, and then you throw it all away. You rip the carpet underneath you and the whole thing just goes to crap. He has a term for that called the upper limit problem. Now, I like the fact that he doesn't use self-sabotage, because that has a really negative connotation. And excuse the skill saw over there. But essentially, if you can solve this one problem, you can reach new heights of success in every area of your life, whether that's making more money, your financials, your purpose, your relationships, your overall joy throughout your day. And if you can get conscious of when your upper limit problem is going into effect, you're going to be able to solve that every time. Well, not every time, but if you can start being more mindful of it, you can catch yourself from making the same mistakes, which is really important in order to succeeding. If you keep making the same mistakes, people say you're going to be a crazy person. So, the upper limit problem, what is it? How does it come into play? Well, the theory is, and it makes a lot of sense from a lot of this other work that I do, is we get programmed into very early childhood. We're talking 0 to 4 or 5 years old, in terms of what we are deserving of as humans and how the world works. And this is before we can even talk properly, right? And so if you're living with programming that you got when you were 4 years old and you didn't reprogram it, how effective are you going to be living out your purpose or experiencing the kind of success that anybody wants to experience or quality of life in their life? Probably not very much. So the idea here is, if you can switch the programming and reprogram it, you're going to get different results, thereby changing the pattern, thereby, if you choose to do it for good, increasing the quality of your life overall. So the upper limit problem, when does it come into play? Well, could be a big one, relationships. You find somebody who's a really, really awesome partner. Seems like it could be a great fit. Things are going really well. All of a sudden, they're going too well. Maybe you get really angry. You have a massive fight. Maybe you can do something like even cheating on them. Something that's completely out of character for you. Why did you do it? Why did you throw that whole opportunity away? Well, at 4 years old, something happened and you don't feel deserving of that. So instead of calling it self-sabotage, we're going to call it the upper limit problem. Now, in that example with the relationship, what if you recognize things are going really well? Then all of a sudden you have negative thoughts. You start feeling antsy. And your programming is going off, ding, 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 ding. It's an alarm, right? Hey, we're not used to this level of happiness. Let's cut it out. We need to go back to our default programming. Well, you catch yourself before you do something as insane as starting an argument for no reason, bickering. Or even, in that matter, cheating on the other person. You catch yourself, you stop yourself, hey, this is not ultimately serving me, it's not serving my partner, we have a good thing going here, and you catch it. It's really just being conscious and mindful instead of resorting back to your programming. Because everything we do, not everything, but about 90% of what we do is subconscious. Whether you realize it or not, we wouldn't be able to do a fraction of what we could if our subconscious was in full effect. So in order to keep us going, the subconscious is really a beautiful thing, but it can really work against you just as much as it can work for you, and even more so a lot of the time. So you have to change the default settings in your programming. And what you're going to do is enable yourself to experience new heights of positive experiences and not rip the curtain under yourself and really sabotage what's going on that's positives for you. One of the things I really like is, and I really agree with, is we only have a certain amount that we feel we're worthy of. Happiness. I can only be so happy because of this, this, and this, right? If X, Y, and Z were different, then I'd be different and I could be happy all the time. It's the wrong way of thinking about it. You know, if I had that promotion, I'd be happier, right? But then when you get the promotion, you start coming to work late, you know? Maybe you get in an argument with your boss, right? Or you completely blow it on a project. All this stuff is subconscious that you're trying to go back to your default settings. So, ultimately, if you can get away from the upper limit problem and you can really start to be conscious of the decisions you're making, you're going to choose different. You're going to choose better for you. And you're going to not have a limit to how much joy, success, and love and creativity you can feel in your life. And the more you're able to do that, the more in alignment you're going to feel, the more fulfilled, and the more people you're going to inspire to be able to do that as well. And that's a really important thing. If you can share the best version of yourself with other people, what other gift could you really share with the world? Like, what else could you create or what could you do that's not that amazing? And when you can change yourself, you're going to be able to change the people directly around you, who are going to change the people directly around them. And let's use a pandemic or a virus as a negative experience. That's a terrible example, but you're going to be spreading a positive virus throughout the world. And that's really what I want to share with you, is being mindful of, like, hey, when something good happens to you. I really like the golf one he uses. Golfers are the worst for this, and I used to be a sucker for this. When you tell somebody who actually plays golf, hey, Joe, nice shot. That was a great chip. He's going to look and say, hey, no, it was terrible. I'm 15 feet from the hole. But you were 75 yards away from that. That's an excellent chip. But they look for the negative, right? And they're not even open to receiving the positive. And so now when I go play golf, I'm really conscious because my default setting's like, oh, no, that wasn't a good putt. Even though it was like 10 feet away, you know? Like, I could have missed it easily, but it was a good putt. So I say, thank you. And I receive the good energy. And then I can add, I wish I chipped it a little bit closer to the hole. But you're not rejecting the positive energy, you're receiving it, and you're making your statement after the fact. But you're not completely blocking off the bad energy, or the good energy, sorry. We have a lot of tendency to deflect, right? Hey, I like the outfit you're wearing. Oh, you know what? This was just a hand-me-down. Oh, I just got it from whatever. It's nothing that special. It's like, hey, that doesn't matter. You're wearing a good outfit. Why don't you just take the compliment? Take the freaking compliment. Why do we not take the compliment? I don't understand. But I do understand. And it's because of this reason we don't feel worthy. We don't feel worthy a lot of the time. So when I say, and when Gay says this, that you can solve, or the only problem you need to solve is this upper limit problem, is find out where you are cutting off your experiences of joy, happiness, fulfillment, financial abundance, so on and so forth. And I'll get into this in another video, but it's not the tangent, but you have to take a big leap. There's something that you want to do in this world that you're not doing. And if you are, that's amazing. You're like the 0.01%. And as a society, we really acknowledge the people that are living their purpose. Think about the top artists, celebrities, actors, business people, speakers, athletes, whatever it is. When people are literally living their purpose, you can feel that. You hear a really good speaker on stage and it moves you. You feel like, wow, that person, they get it. They're living their dream. And then you can't help but be inspired to go and do something similar. But most of us won't. We won't do the thing. And there's stuff stopping you, like programming, getting in the way of you being able to do that. And so I think I'll touch on that in another video. But really, the upper limit problem, aka self-sabotage, in essence, it's really just you not feeling good enough to experience a certain amount of joy, abundance, and love that you experience. So you have to default and do something to make it go back to your original default settings. And it's a tragedy. And it's a tragedy. Most people go through their whole lives without experiencing why they do the things they do, right? I'm fortunate and very blessed that I'm learning this now and not later in life. And that's why I want to share this with you. If you haven't read this book, this is what I want to share with you. It's just what I'm like, one of the biggest takeaways. So with that being said, I encourage you, what is it that you're not doing or seeking out or experiencing because you don't feel worthy? What's it going to take? What needs to change for you to feel better in your day-to-day? To go after what it is that you want, to go after that person you want, or to stay in a happy relationship and partnership or friendship. When things go good in your life, how long do they go good for? Is it up to you, or do you all of a sudden blame something in your external why things aren't going good for you anymore? When you're feeling good, does it last a day? Does it last an hour? Does it go away right away? When you're feeling good, is it only under the influence of substances? How long can you feel good consistently for? Why can't you feel good all the time? What normally gets in the way? Is it junk food? Is it fighting? Is it starting arguments and beefing with people? What is it? Now, these are all the things that I started asking myself, and then I'm like, wow, it's interesting. And it's hard because a lot of the time I'm not conscious either. I'll be going through something and be like, wow, I don't feel good today. And sometimes there's not even a reason to not feel good. It's just we get caught up in worrying about stuff that's not going to happen. It's not even real. 95% of our anxieties aren't real. They don't actually manifest. And that 5% of the time that, oh man, I was right, I saw that coming. Wow, I'm glad I was anxious about that. You know, it didn't happen the other 95% of the time, but dang, man, am I glad that I was ready for that anxious thought. Oh, because it came in handy. No, it doesn't matter. The thing happened anyways. So, all in all, that's the upper limit problem. Gay Hendricks, he's an incredible author. I started one of his other books and finished it a while ago called Conscious Living. Really good author. I really like the way, I think it's him, that he narrates that book as well. I wanted to share that with you. Where in your life are you not living your purpose, or where are you not fulfilled? And what do you need to do to get there? And what do you need to do to feel good in that area of life consistently? So anyways, thanks for hanging out with me on the sprint swing. This has been a lot of fun. I'd be curious to see if you have any thoughts or comments on this topic. If you've had any experiences of your own, I'm all ears. I'd love to see where the upper limit manifests, and that's going to add to my consciousness and conscientiousness of it. And yeah, I'd appreciate it. Any likes, comments, subscribe if you want more videos like this. I tried to do this one in one take. I've been doing a lot of editing and jump cuts. I do like the editing side, but I want this to be, I just wanted to do like a stream of consciousness to play with this idea with you. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate you letting me know. If there's anything you disagree with, let me know. I'd love to see if there's something that you know that I don't. Anyways, I hope you have a lovely day or evening, wherever you are, and we'll catch you in the next video.